A very good evening to everyone present here. One song can change a moment, and one idea can change a world. One step can start a journey, but the prayer can change the impossible. By a college anthem, showcasing a tribute and salute to the great founder of our education, MSP Sindhikumara Nadar Rao Bahadur.
கல்லூரியே எம்மை காக்க வந்த எங்கள் கல்லூரியே உம்மை மறவோம். கல்லூரியே உம்மை காத்து நிற்போம் என்ற சங்கல்பம் நாங்கள் தருவோம். கல்லூரியே எம்மை காக்க வந்த எங்கள் கல்லூரியே உம்மை மறவோம். கல்லூரியே உம்மை காத்து நிற்போம் என்ற சங்கல்பம் நாங்கள் தருவோம். ஒரு தாயில்லாமல் இந்த உலகில் இங்கு ஒரு செய்து, நீ இல்லாமல் எங்கள் அறிவு கோயில் இங்கு வேறேது. கல்லூரியே எம்மை காக்க வந்த எங்கள் கல்லூரியே உம்மை மறவோம். கல்லூரியே உம்மை காத்து நிற்போம் என்ற சங்கல்பம் நாங்கள் தருவோம். சிந்திக்குமார் செதுக்கி செய்த இந்த கலை சிற்பம், எத்திக்குமாய் புகழை சாட்சி அவர் பெயர் பேசும். கற்போம் கற்பிப்போம் இங்கு கற்றவைகளை, கொடுப்போம் வளர்ப்போம் இங்கு பெற்றவைகளை. லட்சம் லட்சம் பேரரசு வாழ்க்கை தந்துள்ளார். உச்சம் உச்சம் போவது பொன்முதிகள் நீங்களார். கல்லூரி வளர்ந்து நிற்க கல்லூரியே எம்மை காக்க வந்த எங்கள் கல்லூரியே உம்மை மறவோம். கல்லூரியே உம்மை காத்து நிற்போம் என்ற சங்கல்பம் நாங்கள் தருவோம்.
Virudhunagar Sindhikumara Nadar College is the premier institution which was started in the year 1947. The institution has attained an eminent status with 25 UG, 15 PG, and 11 MPhil and 10 PhD programs. The college is accredited with A grade by NAC in the fourth cycle of re-accreditation, and we are very proud the institution has secured 47th rank in the National Institutional Ranking Framework by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, New Delhi. Today, after 75 years of its inception, VHNSN College has grown from strength to strength, scaling new heights and crossing many milestones on the academic road. Our Sindhi Research Advocacy Forum of our college conducts many national and international programs under innovative topics. The forum also organizes programs with other departments and institutions for the welfare of the researchers, students, and community at large. One such program is today the Steps in Effective Thesis Writing. Thanks to the Sindhi Research Program and the Dean Research Management and our principal for encouraging us to do more number of programs.
Welcome the challenges. Look for the opportunities in every situation to learn and grow in wisdom. Let me welcome our Professor, Dr. N. Jaykumaran, Associate Professor in Physics and Dean Research of our VHNSN College, and knowledgeable and finding insight of any programs and events. Moreover, an enthusiastic person. Let me invite him to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Good evening. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all for this wonderful national webinar on steps for effective thesis writing. Today, we are conducting a second program of this week. On Monday itself, we conducted a program on Animal Day. Today, we are conducting a second program for this week on a national level webinar. At this juncture, it's my great pleasure to welcome our motivator, our principal, Captain Dr. P. Sundarabondian, who is going to give away the presidential address for this function. Welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome our coordinator of self-finance programs and controller of examiner, Dr. R. Palaniyappan, who is going to give away the felicitation address for this program. I welcome Dr. Palaniyappan, sir, for this function. Welcome, sir. Next, the chair resource person who is going to give away a wonderful talk on this topic, thesis writing. So I welcome Dr. T. S. Subbulakshmi, the Assistant Professor of Commerce from Sri Paramakalyani College, one of the pioneer institutions in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, nearer to Kutralam. I welcome Dr. T.S. Subbulakshmi from Paramakalani College, Alvargurchi, for this wonderful function. She is going to give away the keynote address for this function. Welcome, ma'am. I welcome all the participants who are going to participate in this program a very enthusiastic way. More than around some 200 participants are registered in this program. Since due to this their pandemic situation, we are conducting such programs in online mode. So I welcome all the participants for this wonderful function. I welcome all, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. And for poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. I am delightful in welcoming our beloved principal, Captain Dr. P. Sundarpandian, sir, who sees the good in others, spreading positive words to us. Let me request him to deliver the presidential address. Sir, please.
Good evening to all of you. Learned professors, scholars, and my dear faculty friends. I am really happy to give presidential address in this wonderful workshop on steps for effective thesis writing, organized by Sindhi Advocacy Forum. I'd like to appreciate the efforts taken by the Sindhi Advocacy Forum, especially Dean Research Dr. Jayakumaran and his team, for organizing such a wonderful programs regularly for the benefit of the research scholars. Really, they organized so many programs for the improvement of, especially for the improvement of the budding researchers. Today also, they are organizing a wonderful program on thesis writing. Regarding thesis writing, it's a technique and it's entirely different from ordinary writing. So academic writing is always need more carefulness, more intelligence, and it needs more grammatical approach. So when thesis writing is taken into account, so you may have some data. So at the first stage, you have to analyze the review of literature review. Then you should find the gap between the researchers done earlier, so that you can find the gap. And that gap, you have to analyze the various factors. You should find out the cause and effect relationship. I want to stress one point here. You should carefully read the procedures followed in the recent research, actually. Because when I submitted my PhD thesis in 90s, almost 25 years ago, especially my topic is in commerce subject, and my guide usually say, sir, minimum you have to have some 11 chapters. But the entire scenario has changed now. So everyone should accompany with the current research, actually. Not only that, reference is most important. Everybody can write research, but simply analyzing the data is not enough. So whenever you are quoting a reference, that reference should have a proper acknowledgement. Whether you are following a APA format or MLA format or anything, the particular format must be uniform and it must be quoted everywhere, wherever necessary. You can't copy a particular person's quote as your own. Then, regarding the analytical chapter, I usually find some of them doing some mistake. For the namesake, they are analyzing or implementing or using various tools. There is no purpose for tools sometimes. Inappropriate tools may be used. First, carefully whether a particular tool can be used in that place, understand the concept. If you are using a particular tool, whether that particular statistical tool is appropriate, whether it is important. So by that, you can get clear-cut idea and you can analyze this chapter maybe good. Then don't give general conclusion. Your conclusion or your finding must be particular in nature. General conclusion or general suggestion can be given by anybody else, but it's not good. Suppose we are giving a suggestion, then it should be a particular in nature. So while writing your findings and conclusions, suggestion chapter, be careful. Don't give general suggestion. There is no meaning at all for your research. So today's research person, Dr. Muthulalakshmi, may give an elaborate idea about the steps in thesis writing. So I appreciate the efforts. Once again, I appreciate the efforts taken by the Sindhi Advocacy Forum. And I also for the and convener Dr. Selvanathan for organizing programs regularly. Also appreciate all the and other members for the opportunity.
Thank you, Professor, and motivate us. Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. I'm happily welcome our Controller of Examinations, Coordinator SF Programs, Dr. R. Palaniappan Sir, Associate Professor in Computer Science, the man who set his goals high and encouraging all of our activities. I would like to invite Palaniappan Sir to give the felicitation address. Sir, please.
Thank you. Respected and beloved principal of our esteemed institution, Dr. P. Sundarabandyan, Dr. Jaykumaran, Professor Mariswari, Professor Selvanathan, and other faculty members belonging to the Sindhi Research Advocacy Forum, my dear participants, very good evening to all of you. Really a wonderful task taken by Sindhi Research Advocacy Forum on giving limelight on how to write effective thesis. Thesis writing needs a lot of energy to be put in. Thesis writing needs to be a lot of vision to be put in. You should be potential enough to visualize what we have written. As our principal rightly pointed out, we cannot put junk things in our thesis. Thesis should pinpoint to tasks that we have done. The effective references should be quoted. In today's world, a lot of technology is effectively being used in writing thesis writing. But those tools are effective for compilation and for making coherency. But when you want the thesis to look very beautiful or very meaningful, you need the help of your brain. You need the help of what we are writing in it. And, in this juncture, I'm happy to welcome Dr. Subbulakshmi Madam of Alvarkuruchi College, Paramakalyan Alvarkuruchi College, for to spare her time to be with our Sindhi Research Advocacy Forum, and to empty number of participants, strengthening more than 150. I could see from the registrants, 222 participants registered from Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Chandigarh, Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Uttar Pradesh. Almost all over India, participants are in this forum. Why? Because they want their thesis to be rich. They want their thesis to be highly precious And that steps of writing, that effective way of presenting the thesis is going to be delivered by Subbulakshmi Madam. Really a happy day for all of us in this forum. Enjoy how to write effective thesis writing. And once again, I thank our college management, our beloved principal, and Senti Research Advocacy Forum for given me a chance to felicitate this August forum. And I wish this national level webinar 100% success. And my heartfelt wishes to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful felicitation address. Really, you motivated the researchers to have wonderful writing in thesis writing and how to carry out the thesis writing well. So today we are having a wonderful chief guest amongst our midst, Dr. T. Subbulakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Sri Paramakalyani College, Alvar Kurchi, Tengasi. So she's having 11 years of experience and her area of interest is research, goal setting and career guidance, marketing, human resource management. She has authored 5 textbooks in business communication, human resource management, capital market, entrepreneurial development, and industrial law. She has co-authored 2 books in industrial law and management accounting. She is an approved guide of Manonmaniam Sundaranaar University and guiding 2 part-time scholars and 1 full-time scholar. And she is serving as one among the members in the doctoral committee of 3 PhD part-time scholars. And she is also serving one among the members in the research committee of Sri Paramakalyani College and serving as an executive committee member and organized international seminars and intercollegiate competition in the college. She is educating the students through YouTube channel Subbu's e-learning SPKC. We are very proud, ma'am, to have you here. She has given 78 YouTube videos and published more than 30 research articles in UGC CARE listed journals. She has acted as resource person and conducted state level quiz competition for commerce students at Manonmaniam Sundaranaar University College, Govindabari. She has presented a guest lecture on recent HR practices in COVID pandemic period at Dr. NGP College, Coimbatore. And also acted as a resource person at national level webinar and gave a lecture on how to do a multifaceted women organized by Vijay Lakshmi Foundation. We are very happy to have you amongst our midst, ma'am. A very lively, enchanting, encouraging, and simple personality. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and being amongst our midst to deliver a wonderful talk in Steps in Effective Research Writing. Now the forum is yours. Like to hear more from you on steps in effective thesis writing. Welcome you, ma'am, to VHNSN College in virtual mode. Welcome you.
Respected Principal, Dr. P. Sundarapandyan sir, and also Chairman of Senti Research Advocacy Forum, Organizing Secretary, Dr. N. Jaykumaran sir, Dean for Research, Co-Chairman, Dr. R. Palaniyappan sir, and Convener, Mr. S. Selvanathan, Head Assistant Professor of Commerce, and Muthulakshmi Madam. Thank you for all. Thank you for a wonderful introduction by Principal sir and Palaniyappan sir. They all said is very correct and is a very needful things for research. I would like to thank you for all for giving me the opportunity, wonderful opportunity to address before you in this webinar. Steps for effective thesis writing. In this session, I am going to explain the design of the thesis and what are the ways to write an effective thesis or valuable thesis. And what problem would a research scholar face practically in writing the thesis? I am going to share few things. What I have experienced in my own thesis writing, and I am guiding a few scholars, so their experience also. So collectively, I am going to share my own experience and my scholars' experience in this webinar. First of all, thesis writing, if you take in broader sense, it is the outcome of researchers' knowledge or interest, or we can say it is the output of hard work, isn't it? So thesis writing is a output of their hard work and is an area of interest depending upon the scholar's area of interest. In another sense, it is like an examination where it is going to be analyzed or examined or evaluated by an examiner. Your thesis is going to be analyzed by an examiner. by a panel of examiners. The guide will give panel of examiners to the university, and university will select, the VC will select one panel, examiner panel from the internal source and from the external source. Your thesis will be sent to the panel member, and he will evaluate your thesis and recommend for PhD. This is the procedure. So, your thesis has been academically evaluated for the fulfillment of your PhD degree, isn't it? So, your output must be perfect like an examination paper. Then only you will be provisionally selected for awarding the PhD degree. This is the practical thing. I would like to say an example. In cooking, we use quality ingredients and a very experienced chef. The output, that means what we cook, will come excellent if we add all the chapters perfectly. If you add all the chapters, what are the chapters you would like to add, and according to the format given by the university, each and every chapter has to be added with very perfectly. The output will be very, very effective. So we get good output. That is a wonderful thesis, isn't it? So, coming to the topic, what are the steps we have to take before writing a thesis? Starting from the identification of a research problem till appendix chapter, I am going to explain gradually. I am going to explain step by step what are the steps the scholars do. We have planned everything very neatly. We have to plan each and every chapter before writing the particular chapter. That I will explain through the session now. I would like to share the screen. What is research? I am starting the basic definition. Research comprises of defining and redefining problems, formulating hypotheses or suggested solutions, collecting, organizing and evaluating the data, making deductions and making conclusions. At last, carefully testing the conclusions to determine whether they fit the formulated hypothesis. So, these are the attributes of successful thesis. A candidate should look after this. Demonstrate authority in the candidate's field and shows the evidence of command of knowledge in relevant fields. If a scholar write a thesis, before writing the thesis, he must possess an adequate knowledge in that particular topic or research area. A good thesis shows that a candidate has a thorough grasp of an appropriate methodological techniques and aware of the limitations of the thesis. What are the limitations given in the thesis? The candidate must be aware of it. Demonstrates an ability to communicate research findings effectively in the professional arena. What are the examiner's view and what will be the examiner's view regarding the thesis? The examiners would look these things whether evaluating the thesis. Sufficient familiarity and understanding the concerned topic. The thesis should comprise of sufficient familiarity of the topic. Does it provide a sufficiently comprehensive investigating the topic? Whether the candidate investigated properly all the variables, all the factors in the thesis. Are the methods and the techniques adapted appropriate to the subject matter, and whether the techniques and the methodology is related to the subject matter. This should be examined by the examiner. And are the results suitably set out and accompanied by adequate interpretations and conclusions, whether proper conclusions and interpretation has been given in the thesis. Have the research questions are tested or proved. If there is any research questions, sometimes we used to give some research questions in statement of the problem, isn't it? So, if there is any research question, if there are any set of research questions, these research questions are to be answered properly, are to be proved properly. So these are all the things the examiner should verify while evaluating the thesis. Thus, a thesis as a whole constitute a substantial original contribution to knowledge in the subject area with which it deals. So nowadays, the thesis has been uploaded in Shodhganga and Google Scholar and various websites, So if you upload a thesis, it would be very standard, and you must be aware of that. The thesis quality, it must be a quality thesis. Then only while referring by others, while reviewing by others, while citing one's thesis, there must be a validity. So these are all the examiner's view while evaluating the thesis. So these are all the general chapters one should include in a thesis. Title, abstract, they should give an one-page abstract with keywords. Introduction, statement of the problem, objectives, methodology, research gap, limitations of the study, review of literature, analysis and discussion, major findings and suggestions, social relevance, conclusion, reference. So these are all the chapters generally a thesis should comprise of. So coming to the first step, formulation of a research problem. So this is a basic step. A research scholar would step into the research work, formulation of a research problem. It is fully based on the scholar's interest. So guide's duty here is to encourage the scholar to write a thesis, or encourage the scholar to find out a research problem. What is the interest of the scholars, or what is the research area which would like to write the thesis for a candidate. So the following methods in which the research problem shall be selected, identified based on the area of interest of the scholar. If a scholar is interested in a particular area, they can select a particular research problem and do their research for and may prove that. Problems based on social relevance. So connected with problems connected with society. So these are all can be done. Personal experience, whether a candidate have a personal professional journals. By seeing professional journals, you can see a problem, or you can find out a research problem. Then committee reports, based on the committee report, then if we see the committee report, they will give some recommendations. A research problem can be finalized by a research scholar. So the first step, if we complete the first step, select your research area, not a research title, research area and the area of interest. After that, you can select the title. So before selecting the title, the candidate should carefully investigate what are all the reviews available in the particular research area. Review of literature must be studied in while writing the thesis 3 times. 3 times you have to look after the review chapter. In the very first stage, before the title selection, review can be studied. And the next stage, while writing the second chapter, review of literature, you must give 80 to 100 reviews based on your study. That is a formal one. Then after that, you must undergo the pilot study, isn't it? How to carry out the research, whether the sample has validity, whether the data collected has validity. So in that time, you have to again review the research articles, literature, and to find the research gap also, you have to review the literature. So you have to review the literature of the previous studies 3 times in your overall thesis work. So title selection, coming to the title selection, after selecting the research area, proper title should be finalized. You must be carefully investigate the title, whether what is the research area, and the title has to be narrowed down to the topic. It should not be broader. How far it is narrowed down, how the thesis will be quality. It will be of a very good quality. I am giving the example here in my presentation. There is an example: customer relationship management of banks in Coimbatore. So this is an example title. In this, banks I given red. Why I given red? So what is the justification you are going to give for that banks? Whether public sector banks will be included or private sector bank would be included. What is the method of research you are going to do? The title should comprise all the detailed study effect for the title. So in connection with the title, you frame objectives. In connection with the objectives, you frame the tools. In connection with the tools, you write the interpretation, and based on the interpretation, you write the conclusions and solutions. So it is a chain. Imagine a chain. Everyone has connectivity. Based on the title, all the process of research would follow. So your title should connect with the objectives and questionnaire, and based on the questionnaire and objectives, your analysis will be done, right? So in this example, it is a generalized statement. It would not be like that. Customer relationship management of public sector banks in Coimbatore. Whether you have to stay Coimbatore city or interior Coimbatore, that is not mentioned here. So that should also be mentioned in the title. You should restrict the you should restrict the research area, or you should restrict the research problem in the title itself. Then only you can justify in the Viva examination. Then next. Availability must be confirmed. Confirmation is necessary regarding the data availability. So to whom you have to give the questionnaire, or from where you have to collect the data. Whether it has to be designed as interview schedule, or it has to be given as a questionnaire format, that and all has to be discussed with your guide and to be finalized. Each and every stage you have to plan and take notes. Remember one thing, before starting your PhD work, you have a very big diary. Then only you will be able to take a notes for each and everything. So what are all you remember, and what are all the tips you guide say, please take a notes. When you see a research paper, please note it down. Then it will be very effective at the time of writing the thesis. So it should also be noted down. From where to collect the data, from whom did you give the questionnaire, and whether one or more questionnaire is needed. So in some title, in some PhD title, one or more questionnaire will be prepared by the research scholar. So what is the need for the questionnaire? So that and all should be analyzed. So based on the data availability, so that is also you can discuss previous references regarding the topic selected, whether sufficient references are available regarding the topic. Then you can finalize the title. If you see any discrepancies in the above said the statements, you can change the title. Whether you feel the data is not available or the data is not sufficient for doing the thesis, you can drop the title and select some other area, isn't it? So you should finalize the title before considering the following aspects. So I am playing once again selection of a research area, careful investigation regarding the research area, then narrow down the title, and based on the data availability and the selection of topic, and based on the research reviews, you must finalize the title. So you can write the synopsis now. While writing the synopsis is must be in a proper format. It would comprise the introduction, statement of the problem, and all. But in writing the synopsis, at the time of writing the synopsis, you must decide what are all the factors you are going to analyze in the thesis. For example, if you see this title, Customer Relationship Management of Private Sector Banks. If I take this title, what are all the factors of customer relationship management that are going to be analyzed? That has to be finalized in the synopsis itself. Then only it would be easy to prepare the objectives. The objective has connectivity with the questionnaire, and the questionnaire has the connectivity with the analysis, isn't it? So we have to find out the factors and or variables, whatever you can say, that must be finalized before writing the synopsis. And the determination of sampling methods. You have to decide what type of sample it will fit for your research. Selection of sampling methods. It depends upon, particularly it depends upon purely the topic and the population available, based on the known population and unknown population, isn't it? So if there is any discrepancies in sampling method, or you can go for census method. If you feel there is a very low population available, then you can go for the census method. Unnecessary complications should be avoided in the selection process. You can use the sample calculator. If you have a huge population, you can use the sample calculator. It will be available in the internet also. Proper justification. What type of sample you select, you must be justified. It must be justified, and it must be verified, and it must be validated at the time of analysis, and it must be proved. That's all. So what type of sample you can select, you must be justify that sample. That is it. So proper justification of your sample selection is necessary. So you must prepare a sample distribution table before starting your thesis work. So the sample distribution table depicting your sample size and based on the population, you must prepare a distribution table, and based on that, you must select a sample, and what type of sample you select, you must justify at the time of viva. Then objectives. I have already said objectives is connected with the title. So based on the title, you should design your objectives. So tentative objectives may be prepared at the time of writing the synopsis. We all may make a mistake. First of all, we prepare the objectives first and write a thesis. While writing the thesis, your idea will change to some other area, and you include that also in your thesis, and you will change the objectives. You will add 6 or 7 points, or you may delete 4 or 5 points in the objectives. So this is a common mistake we do in the thesis. So don't worry. So tentative objectives may be prepared. So what are all the objectives you prepare? You must go through the objectives thoroughly, and you must follow the objectives. The objectives must be written in a way that you must go in the way of the objectives. So suitable modifications may be made before preparing the questionnaire. If you have any discrepancies in the objectives, it can be modified before you prepare the questionnaire. After the preparation of questionnaire, the objectives should not be modified. So we already know that the objectives and the questionnaire has connections. Objectives must be brief and precise. You must give precise and brief objective. So action verbs you can use like assess, determine, compare, to verify, to analyze, to study, whatever are all the action verbs usually used. You can use the used in your objectives. Unwanted statements, generalized statements should be strictly avoided while preparing the objectives. You should not give any generalized statement in your objectives, because it is your own thesis. You have to write your thesis. You are writing your work. So generalized statement should not work it out. So unwanted statements and necessary declaration of facts must be avoided while in designing the objectives. So the last thing, it must correlate with the questionnaire. After finishing this PowerPoint, I will give it practically how to write an objective. So questionnaire construction. When coming to the questionnaire construction, it is a very important part in research. Depending upon the study, a researcher may decide the types of questionnaire to be prepared. I have already said that based on your title, based on your objectives, the questions has to be prepared. So if you want, you can divide 2 or 3 parts. The first part of the questionnaire will be of all the demographic factors about the candidate, or demographic profile of the candidate to whom you are collecting the data. The second and third part can be extended based on the title, of the research. Factors in objectives should be correlated. What are all the factors you have given in the as in the objectives, that should be correlated with the questionnaire. That is the important thing. So you have connectivity with the title with the objectives. What are all the objectives you give in the your thesis or synopsis, it must correlate with the questionnaire. So factors can be divided into statements. While giving the statements, while preparing the questionnaire, you will give statements in 5-point scale, isn't it? So that statements would comprise of positive, in line only positive statements. If you want to give some negative statements, give it in another heading, and put another heading for the negative statements and give it. So while preparing your analysis, your score must be changed. So while preparing the questionnaire, you should give first positive statements, and you should not mix and match the positive and the negative statements while constructing the questionnaire. This is a very important point. If you made a mistake in this stage, your analysis will be totally wrong. So you do not mix and match the statements. First, you write the factors which are connected to the thesis, and based on that factors, you can write the variables. So finally, editing must be done before to eliminate the unwanted questions. So coming to the review of literature is a heart of the thesis. We can say review is a heart. So careful selection of reviews related to the study is necessary. Depending upon the title, review of literature can be divided into parts. Customer relationship management of banks. You can have customer satisfaction of banks into one area, customer relationship of private sector bank into another area, and you can have a customer relationship management among commercial banks into one area. Based upon the title, you can divide the research part into, review part into 2 or 3 parts. So references can be done in thesis, dissertations, books, and research articles. Now I would like to show practically how to write a research article, how to write a research review. So, can you see the screen? Can you see the Word document here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This is a literature review taken from a thesis. All scholars will make a mistake. taking a review, literature review from an original thesis. This is a original review, copy and paste in their thesis. So it should not be done. It will surely show the plagiarism. So how to convert it? So some scholars will make a mistake that they will simply right click. They will simply use the synonym technique. They will simply use the synonym technique. If, for example, if I click relationship, then I right click this, synonyms will appear. Then I will change association and simply correct 2 or 3 words, 2 or 3 keywords. They can add their thesis as a review. This is a wrong procedure. This is the original review which I have taken from a thesis. Please listen carefully. This is the original thesis which I have taken from the thesis. So if I convert using the keywords, using the synonym technique, the thesis will, the review will appear like this. You can see whether you can read it, you can find out the non-correlation between the words, or you can see the grammatical mistakes in the words. So I am reading this. Organizational commitment researcher study is about relationship between independent variables, dimensions of QWL, salary and allowances, health security and working conditions, growth opportunities and future development. If you convert into a synonym, if you convert a keyword into a synonym, it will appear like this. See that, is there a continuity between the sentences? The continuity will surely miss. And the directorial pledge, organizational is converted into directorial pledge. Researcher studies about the dealings, linking, self-governing variables. Is there too many grammar mistakes? So if you simply copy and change the synonym, it would not be a correct one, and it's a wrong method. So it is a wrong method of writing these type of reviews. So the right method is you would collect the reviews. You have to collect the reviews through Mendeley software or through open access software. There are many softwares available in this internet world, isn't it? So you can collect it and download it into a separate PDF. You can collect a separate PDF and download it into your personal computer or pen drive, whatever device it may be available. So after collecting the reviews, after collecting the related reviews, a research scholar must read it. You must spend time to read the review you have collected. After reading the research article, a scholar would be able to get an idea to what you have to write the review. So you must be able to paraphrase it. The technique is called the paraphrasing technique. So writing reviews using the original, by seeing the original review, is called a paraphrasing technique. By reading an article, by reading a research article, you must summarize it. You must be able to summarize it, and you must be able to paraphrase it without the changing of original meaning and without the changing of keywords. That is a very important thing. You must not change the keywords in the thesis. So here, this is the correct method I have given in using paraphrasing technique. So the sentences must be identified. What are the keywords here must be identified, and it should be converted into simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. We have studied already in grammar, isn't it? So a sentence has 3 formats. One is simple sentence, and another one is complex sentence, and another one is compound sentence. So based on the sentences, you can write a review. So I have written it. Please go through it. In this study, analyze the connectivity between, here it is given, the relationship of quality of life and organizational commitment. Researcher study is about relationship between independent variable. So I have changed to connectivity. So I have changed to connectivity between dependent and independent variables. Dependent variables showed like healthiness. So here we can change the non-keywords in some aspects, but you do not change the keywords in the reviews, so it would go wrong. So healthiness and occupational conditions and development of individual capacity influences the maximum and job stability. Pay and allowances, salary and allowances is converted into pay and allowances, influence the minimum on organizational commitment. This is the paraphrasing technique. We can use that, but you should not convert, you should not copy from one's own original work. It's a like will show plagiarism, and you should not do that. Then I will explain how to use the Mendeley software here, how to collect the reviews from Mendeley software. So you should download Mendeley Reference Manager. Can you able to see the screen? Can you able to see the screen?
Yes, madam. Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mendeley Reference
Yes, ma'am.
Manager. You should go for that. It should be downloaded from internet very easily. Mendeley Desktop. You please download it, and the home screen will appear like this. Home screen will appear like this. You give search. It's a library. It's a profile. You can create your own profile in that. In this, you go to settings. You go to settings. Settings will appear. So this is a settings window in the Mendeley. There is a connectivity problem, I think. That's the problem, and
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
so this is a settings. You go to. There is a library. If you want, you can search your articles and deposit in your library. So if you give search in that, you can search your related areas based on the, you can search for articles. I will give here customer relationship customer relationship management. So if you give search, you can have the numerous reviews here. You can see the reviews. Can you see the reviews here? So most relevant, most recent, and most cited. You can, whatever you give, it will come. So customer relationship management, this is a review appearing here. If you want, you can add it to the library. If you want your PDF, it will appear, and but after depositing your PDF into your personal library, you can have a look at that and you can read it very patiently. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So whatever research area you want, you can give in search. The research articles will appear in Mendeley. So you can have a research review after depositing into the library. So in Google Scholar also, you can have a citation. You can go to the Google Scholar and give a particular research area, and you can have a citation format in that. So you can convert your citation format into APA format. Generally, research when we see a review of literature, all the research reviews in Southside are written in the according to the format of APA. So you can convert into APA format. So review of literature, before writing the review of literature, these things are to be kept in mind. Then a researcher must read at least 100 research papers before writing the review. So analysis part. So what are all the things you would usually read in the review of literature? You cannot read all the research papers from starting point to ending point, isn't it? It is practically not possible. So don't be panicked. Please download the PDF and save it into your own folder. And when you get time, read. In one day, you can read 5 research papers. So in the research papers, you must read the abstract part. Abstract part will depict the picture of the whole thesis. What we can say in the thesis, what are all the researchers did in the thesis, that we can see in the abstract part. If you see the abstract part, if you read the abstract part, you can get a clear idea. Okay, this is the idea of that paper. So you can go for further analysis. What is the methodology and what are all the findings they have given in the thesis? So that has to be taken in mind, and their abstract, their findings, and their suggestions given in that particular thesis, that has to be taken as your review in your own words. I am repeating the same. While writing the review of literature, you can see or you can read the research paper. When you read the research paper, you must read the abstract part. In abstract part, you must have a clear idea. After you read the abstract part, you go to the findings and suggestions in a particular research paper. So after you go through the findings and suggestions, you convert it to the findings and suggestions given by the particular researcher, quote them, and in bracket, and quote them, cite them, and give the year in the bracket, and write your own view about the literature. Your own view about the literature in your own words. You should not copy any review of the literature. By seeing their bibliography, you can go through their sources. what are all the sources they have used in their thesis, so that you can refer it, but you should not copy. All the reviews collected may be grouped and written in a proper format. Collect the reviews year by year, group the reviews, and after grouping into chronological order, arrange them into an alphabetical order. The first, you can for research review is concerned, you must prepare 2 drafts. First draft you must prepare roughly, and after getting correction from your guide, you maybe fair it. Collection, reading, summarization, and paraphrasing of research articles is necessary. The order is like that: collect the research review, read the research paper, and summarize the research paper. That is why I have asked you to put a diary. So in that diary, you have to summarize the research paper. You can write what is your view about a particular research article. Then after writing it, when you get time, you can summarize the particular research paper, and then you can paraphrase it. Paraphrase using the conversion of non-keywords by using synonym technique, and by using the conversion of simple, compound, and complex sentences. So changing non-keywords using the simple, compound, and complex sentences. Then coming to the research design, it must contain all the material factors relating to the research. A research design would comprise of all the material factors. Then statement of the problem. What is your research problem? Is your research problem has the connectivity to the society, and what are all the research questions you are going to give in the thesis? That has to be arranged it properly and given as a statement of problem. Objectives. I have already explained about the objectives, how to write the objectives, and the methodology. What is the methodology you are going to follow in a particular thesis? Then statistical tools. As far as statistical tools is concerned, it has to be decided by the researcher based on the needs of the study. The statistical tools, appropriate statistical tools, has to be decided by the researcher based on the needs of the study. So number of samples to be determined, primary data and secondary data has to be determined. You should also give the limitations. The limitations of the study should also give important, because you can limit your study to a particular area. So that limitations can be given. To justify that, to justify your title, to justify your objectives in the YORs, you can give limitations. Then hypothesis framing. Hypothesis, you all know, hypothesis is a tentative statement. So it will be, usually hypothesis will be written after finalizing the research problem. So which is a dependent variable and what are the independent variables must be determined, and after that you frame a hypothesis. So framing hypothesis is a very important area in your research. Framing too much of hypothesis, framing a very difficult hypothesis is not advisable. So what you have doing in the research, what you are going to do in a research, just frame that things in your hypothesis. So if a hypothesis is framed, it must be proved. If a hypothesis is framed, it must be proved properly in your thesis. That is a very important part, that the examiner's point of view will be like that. If a hypothesis, when he saw your hypothesis, he will also see whether it has been proved or not proved. So based on the hypothesis, you must write your conclusions and suggestions. You cannot write conclusions or suggestions generalized, as in a generalized manner, as our principal said. So it should not be written as generalized statements. It must be written when the hypothesis is right or proved or disproved. So The results of hypothesis testing directly help to answer the research questions and draw conclusions for the study. So that's why the hypothesis is written. So the hypothesis should be precise and clear. Don't give difficult hypothesis. If you read a hypothesis, it must be understood to all. Don't give too much of dump too much of grammar in the hypothesis. It should be very clear and simple. Hypothesis should be testable with primary or secondary data. The results of hypothesis testing should address the study's aim and objectives adequately. So it must satisfy your objectives and it must satisfy your research questions. It should have a connectivity with the questionnaire. So data verification. So after framing the hypothesis, the data collection is also will be ready, isn't it? So side by side, you will collect your data, and collected data should be verified and validated. See, for example, if you are going to collect a sample of 650, you must give the questionnaire of 670 or 680. Among them, you can there must be a sample errors and there must be a wrongly filled questionnaires. After editing all that, you must be finalize your data. So you must be the data will be master tabled. The data will be master tabled for the data analysis, isn't it? So partially and wrongly filled questionnaires should be eliminated before your analysis. Then we can use the following data analysis softwares. So selection of, I'm again repeating, selection of research tools depends on the needs of the study. You should not generalize the research tool. You should not apply a particular tool for all your objectives, isn't it? So it's a wrong method. So you should study your objective, and based on the objective, what is the research tool, what the research tool is appropriate, that you should select and apply as a research tool, and the result you should write it neatly. The tools should ensure the validity, reliability, and usability. So it should satisfy all the three conditions. The tools prepared should by you should satisfy the three conditions: validity, reliability, and usability of the concerned study. MS Excel, you can have many tools: SPSS, AMOS, Strata, eViews, SAS, Visual PLS, MATLAB. Many tools are there. So whatever tool you can download in your desktop, you can have an analysis. Then interpretation. So you can after preparing the statistical tool, it should be carefully analyzed and you should write the interpretation. So interpretation is should be in a proper format. It should be precise and clear. The examiners will verify, will read the interpretation after the table. Usually we will also do like that, isn't it? So what is given in the table, if you see a table, if you go to see the table, straightly we go to the interpretation, and what is given in the table, we should read the interpretation. So interpretation should be very clear. It should depict what is the table says. So we should not include too many grammars, too many grammar sentences and too many complicated sentences while writing the interpretation. Simple interpretation is enough. Anyone can see your interpretation and must understand the table. That is the main aim of writing the interpretation. Please keep that in mind. Anyone can see or read the interpretation and understand the table. So should include a final statement that which factor or variable comes in majority or which factor is influencing factor. The aim of writing the interpretation is which factor or which variable comes in majority. So while writing the gender interpretation, whether male is dominated or female is dominated, we will be writing, isn't it? So finally, which factor is the influencing factor? While preparing ANOVA, we have given many factors. Among them, which factor is the influencing factor? So that and all we can conclude it in your interpretation. So based on the interpretation, you can summarize your findings, and based on your findings, you can summarize your suggestions. Then major findings, suggestions, and conclusions. So based on the interpretation only, the major findings has been extracted in your thesis. It must be fine-tuned. So based on the interpretation, again and again, you need not refer the table. If you write an interpretation neatly, it must be verified at one time, and another time when you write the findings, see that interpretation and write the findings. That is enough. So see the interpretation and extract your findings. Based on the findings in your research, suitable suggestions should be drawn. Suggestions must be based on findings. So suggestions, you should write your suggestion based on your findings. It should not be a generalized statements. So if you may arise questions in Viva, so what are all the suggestions you have given? It must be listed out, isn't it? So an examiner may question you, what is the basis for all to write the suggestions? From where have you drawn that suggestions? He may raise a questions. So you must justify your suggestions. So that is the point. If you justify your suggestion, if you able to justify your suggestion, you can write an effect. Your thesis is effective. So suggestions must be written by seeing the findings. You should not write any generalized suggestion. So your suggestion must be based on your research. Conclusion should be clear and based on your analysis and findings. Say your own view about the particular research problem and conclude the study. That is the right way of concluding the study. So after writing the suggestion, what is the social connectivity of your research problem, and is there any further scope for research? That must be finalized. Say about your further scope, and also what is the social connectivity for the research problem. So further it may be extended. Further your work may be extended by another research scholars. So annexures, bibliography, references in APA format must be given. So questionnaire must be attached. Then glossary, what are all the difficult terms it must be given in the glossary with the abbreviations also, and operational definitions also must be given in your thesis. So these are all the points I need to stress in this webinar, and hope it must be useful for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
A
for
wonderful
patient. Thank you
presentation.
for patient listening.
Madam, thank you, madam. Very nice presentation, madam. Can we get
Thank
PPT
you.
of this presentation, madam?
Okay,
On
sir,
our
I will
mail.
send it. Okay, sir, I will
Thank
send
you,
it,
madam.
sir.
I will send my mail.
Okay, sir, I will surely send it, sir.
With the permission of the resource person, we will send you the PPT presentation to the participants. So participants, if you like to discuss with the resource persons, you can, or you can raise questions also.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a doubt, ma'am. This is Lubna.
Yes.
Ma'am, as far as the review of literature is concerned, when we
Yes.
are taking the very old reviews, I mean not going with the latest reviews, say for example about 70s or 60s when we are getting into the study, so
Yes.
those reviews are very much limited. So how can we access the very old reviews based on our topic?
Yes, ma'am. I can get your question. If you go through in the reviews, please give the reviews old 10 years old reviews. don't go beyond that. So there are very old reviews, so don't go for that. You can take 10 years old reviews, so don't go beyond that. So choose your research topic like that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions, participants?
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Ma'am, can you give some tips for finding the research gap, ma'am? Easy tips to find out research gap.
Yes, sir. So I have already said in the introductory part, sir, you must read the research review in 3 stages. So first stage, before the selection of a research problem, you may be reviewing the literature of your research area, isn't it? So in that stage, you may find out what I am going to do and what other researchers are done. Can you getting my answer? Can you getting my answer, sir?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
in that stage, you may confine it. So then the second stage, while writing the review, you must have selected, in the stage, you must have selected the topic. Before, in the first stage, you must not have selected the topic. You generally read the review of literature, and you see some research gap in that. Just pick it out and take a note. That is let it be. And another thing, when you review the literature, when you write the review of literature, when connecting to the title and review, you can see the research gap very clearly. What are you going to do in your thesis and what the other scholars have done. So you can easily write in that stage.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Vishwanath, sir, I think you have raised your hand.
Madam,
Sir?
can you explain me something about mixed methodology when we have to adapt?
Sir, pardon, I can't get you.
Mixed methodology, about mixed methodology or mixed research design. Can you explain me about mixed research design?
I can't get you the question, sir.
Professor, probably you want to know what is the methodology, whether it is qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methodology. That's what he's trying to.
So, right, sir. Our methodology must have to be decided based on the objectives. So we cannot choose all the methodology in your research. We cannot choose all the methodology. We cannot mix and match the methodologies. It is not needed. So based on your objectives, what is the methodology needed for your objective? Some research scholar may use any other objective for the same title, but what the objectives you have written in your thesis, that is a different thing, isn't it? So you must decide the methodological style in your own thesis. You cannot repeat it. You need not repeat another one's style in methodology.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, how can the plagiarism software differentiate between coverted method and paraphrasing?
Yes, ma'am. I will explain. Please mute your audio and I will explain.
Okay.
Yes. So while paraphrasing, when we use paraphrasing technique, we see another one's review, isn't it? So when we see another one's review, you please convert the non-keywords. You identify the non-keywords in the particular research topic, particular research review, and you identify the non-keywords, and that keywords may be converted into by using the synonym technique. And these, after converting, you will write it in your own words. If you write the meaning, if you write the review in your own words without changing the meaning, it will not show the plagiarism. It will not show the plagiarism. You cannot use the all the sentences used by the particular researcher. You use your own technology. You use your own style in paraphrasing. Then the plagiarism would not be a problem for you.
So for general, if it is copy pasted from net, the plagiarism software will identify. But if covert method is used, even then will it highlight as being plagiarism?
Yes, I showed you. No, so while blindly you copy and paste using synonyms, that will change the meaning of grammar mistake. That will have too much of grammar mistake, and that will change the meaning of the paragraph, particular paragraph. Or if you are not interested in that, simply you take a research paper and you identify the objectives, and you read the abstract, and you read the findings and suggestions, then convert it into a review. This is the best technique. Read a research paper, read the abstract, then read the findings and suggestions, and then convert into a review. It will not show a plagiarism, but your review should be in your own style, but your review should be in your own sentence. You should not copy from the other ones.
Ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am?
Yes?
I have another question to ask for.
Yes, ma'am.
Very recently, the scholars are constructing a questionnaire based on certain particular model. So I would like to know what kind of models are actually adopted to construct a questionnaire or interview schedule.
There is no particular model for questionnaire. So it is constructed, or it will be constructed based on your own research topic. So if your research area, so see the questionnaire based on your own research area. So see other questionnaires also, then you can get an idea. So you can use that model for reference, and you can construct your own questionnaire based on your research objective. That is the important thing. So you cannot construct a questionnaire by seeing another one's objective. You see your own objective. What objective you have used in your thesis? What is the title? So there should be a connectivity between the title and objective. Based on that, questionnaire may be constructed in any format. It should satisfy the research question. That's all.
Hello, respected ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Myself, Dr. Gyanchand Sharma, Assistant Professor of English, Government College, Rikong, Kinnaur District, Kinnaur, Himachal Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Your topic and derivation was highly meaningful and beneficial for all the participants.
Thank you, sir.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
To what extent plagiarism is acceptable, or
Sir,
what is the punishment? What is the punishment if the plagiarism is beyond 50%?
Sir, it depends upon universities' policies. I cannot say the plagiarism. In our university, they allow 25%, 20% plagiarism. It depends upon that university's policies of plagiarism. You see, if you are going to submit a thesis under a particular university, you please see the rules and regulations of that particular university. If they allow you for up to 20%, and what are all the chapters they are covering under plagiarism, you must see that. In some universities, only analysis part and interpretation part must include in plagiarism, and the other chapters are not included in plagiarism. But UGC stressed that all the chapters must be included in plagiarism. So you must read the policies of your university when registering the PhD, sir. Based on that, you can decide it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I'm satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Ma'am, I'm Santosh. Ma'am, for chapterization, should we go for 7s or 5 or 9, or has it only be odd numbers, or even can also be there?
Sir, please pardon, beg your pardon, sir.
Ma'am, for the chapterization, should we go for 7 or 5
You are
or
asking
9?
chapter scheme.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when deciding the chapter scheme, go through the title, sir. You must go through the title and whether there is a need of extending the chapters, you may do.
Okay, ma'am.
When the need arises to extend the chapters, in analysis part, you may split the analysis. If the analysis was very lengthy, you can split the analysis part into 2 or 3 based on the need of your study. But my advice is don't go for a lengthy analysis, sir. It must irritate the reader.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So don't go for lengthy analysis or comparative studies. So it should irritate the reader also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank Aditya. Do you want to ask a question? Okay, we shall conclude. So thank you, dear participants, for for asking such a thought-provoking questions. Really, the questions were very useful for other researchers also. Ma'am, Subhlakshmi ma'am.
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
There is no any feedback link for this.
Sure, sir. It will be sent you soon. Just within 10 minutes, we will put in the feedback link, sir. So just we will like to conclude the session.
Very nice presentation, madam. Very nice.
Thank you, sir. And really, we thank Subhlakshmi ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Shri Paramakalyanani College, Alvar Kulshi, Tenkasi. She has delivered a good content on effective thesis writing and how to include the chapters in research, the formulation of research problem, the title selection and finalization, data availability and review of literature, how to construct a valid questionnaire, and a thorough literature review, how to do a thorough literature review. And she has also explained about paraphrasing. Results of hypothesis should also add to the study aim and objectives. And also she has given how to conclude the findings and suggestions and the scope for further research. Thank you, ma'am. It was a full session, a complete steps in thesis writing, a wonderful session. And with the participants' questions, we were able to understand that your presentation has reached a wide number of participants. Really, it will be very useful for the participant. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we would do adhere to you in the future also. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. Let me invite the convener of the webinar, Mr. S. Selvanathan, Head and Assistant Professor of Commerce, SF, to propose vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor for me to propose vote of thanks on this pleasant occasion. On behalf of the Sindhi Research Advocacy Forum, I extend a warm welcome to the people in the meet. First, I would like to express a deep sense of gratitude to our principal, Dr. P. Sundarapandyan sir, for encouraging us to conduct this event in an orderly manner. My wholehearted thanks to our self-finance coordinator, sir, Dr. R. Palaniappan sir, who renders an unstinted support to us. I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the national level webinar on Steps for Effective Thesis Writing for their presence and their contribution in making this program a successful one. I extend my gratitude to our honorable resource person, Dr. T. Sublakshmi ma'am, for sparing his valuable time despite his busy schedule. Thank you for giving us a wonderful lecture on steps for effective thesis writing, ma'am. Thank you for the highly inspiring time with us. Your remarkable depth of understanding of the subject made the lecture and stimulating and informative one. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to you, ma'am. I must thank the organizing secretary of this program, Dr. N. Jaykumaran sir, the organizing team of staff members, Dr. Pandirajan sir, Dr. S. Muthulishi ma'am, Dr. Prem Sangha sir, Mrs. Mariswari ma'am, Dr. B. Lawrence sir, Dr. V. Siva sir, for putting their sincere effort for the past few days to make this national level webinar a successful one. I also thank Mr. Ganapati Anna and Mr. Magesh Anna for their technical support. Once again, I congratulate all the participants for their active participation from various states. Once again, I thank you one and all.
Thank you for giving me opportunity, sir. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, Selvanathan, sir, Head Department of Commerce, SF, for coming out with very innovative topics in the recent last 2 or 3 months. Thanks to all the conveners of the program and all the organizing committee members.